Hello and welcome. Let's get going. Let's talk about how you can grow your business using Facebook and how to get clients with Facebook. Facebook is simply magical and is going to make a huge difference in the growth of your business. The concepts that I want to make sure we cover are, first of all, to understand that regardless of your business or industry, you are your own product. You may be a service business, but the brand that you are promoting on Facebook is you. And you'll be using Facebook to demonstrate and to educate. The purpose of Facebook is actually helping people learn how great you are without being braggadocious, egotistical, and guru-centric, but to really let you stand out through the value that you'll be showing through education. Facebook will be the list that you built, and Facebook will be used to generate goodwill. When we think about Facebook for generating leads, we really have to look at three different topics. First of all, we need to build an audience on Facebook, and this is how you get your list and your prospects and will eventually get your clients, customers, or patients. Secondly, Facebook must be used to display content. Facebook is all around content and how to use that content correctly. And Facebook can also be used for advertising. You must set up a Facebook business page, and the reason to have a business page, obviously, is to get more leads, to get more clients, patients, or customers. And if you have a retail location, it could be to drive people right to your retail location. If you're online, it's driving people to web forms or a website or an online action you want them to take. A business page can be used to launch a new product, a new service, a mobile app, and mostly your business page builds awareness, creates your brand you, and definitely to build your list. In order to have people raise their hands and be attracted to be your client, customer, or patient, it's very important that you build your Facebook audience with the right people. When you have engaged Facebook fans, you can drive them to your website, you can drive them to your retail location, to a blog, wherever you want to drive them. And you can take the traffic from Facebook and turn that into even more qualified leads, narrowing down who really is interested by having specific forms on landing pages where you're collecting information from your visitors. And only visitors who are really interested will give you that information, and they'll also reveal to you that they are interested. Every lead that you get from the website traffic that you generate or from the people coming into your location need to be nurtured. No one becomes a client, customer, or patient without some nurturing. And then some email marketing and some automated marketing so you have freedom systems that create your repeat customers, clients, or patients. Talking about a Facebook fan page, you must think about posts as something that you deliver online and offline. I'll talk about both. You must have a great about page on Facebook. Your about page should really define clearly to anyone who finds it what your business has to offer. What's the benefit or the result that I get from buying your products or services? Your fan page must be linked to your website right on the about page, and anything else you can put on the about page that will help your potential prospects quickly understand the results your business offer. It's very important that you ask people to like your page so they can start to see what you're posting. And I always recommend to my clients that you begin with existing customers, friends, family, and you can do that by email, or you can do that in person. You can do that by having it on your business card, in your location, asking people to like your page, and also asking them to give you positive reviews. You can get 5-star reviews right on your Facebook page, so it also serves as a social reputation site. While you're on your Facebook business page, look under the Page Manager section and you will see Build Audience. There's a menu where you can invite your personal Facebook friends to like your page, and that's the best way to begin building your audience. You can then share your Facebook page with your friends through the news feed. You can also upload your email contacts, whether they be in a program like Gmail or in a shopping cart program like Infusionsoft or another contact management system. You can upload them right to Facebook and then ask those people to like your page. I think of Facebook not only, as I said, as an online marketing strategy, but it's also offline. So we must make your page discoverable, and this has to be a top priority. If you have a location, place stickers in the window and promote your page. Add the Facebook URL to your emails, to receipts, to blogs, to newsletters. Make it easy for people to find you everywhere. You can use a social plugin like the like button or like box. These are two of my favorites, so that right in your website, we've got likes. Right in your email, we've got the ability to click and like you. The content that goes on your Facebook page must be all about creating value, not selling, not marketing, not advertising. Do you really know your ideal buyer? What does that target client, customer, or patient really want to know about, learn about, have? What do they need? What's the result they're truly looking for? And unless you know the buyer's persona and what they truly want, your value will not come across. So you find out what they want by surveying past customers, potential customers, and even current customers, and ask them, what would interest you on my Facebook page? What would you like to read about, know about, hear about, learn about? What's your biggest problem that keeps you up at night? What results are you looking for? And the way you create value is educate, educate, educate. Every piece of education is not to be salesy, but is to create goodwill so that prospects aren't sold to. They just can learn from you. You can also advertise with Facebook. You can advertise to get more likes to grow the number of eyeballs on your page. Use the page like ad, and there's a call to action ad like page. Page like will then appear in the news feed as a page post, or it may be a display ad in the right-hand column of someone's news feed. And all of the time, even a few minutes ago, I was looking at a website, and then later I was looking at Facebook, and I noticed that I could like that page because there was an ad in the news feed. That's how you grow the people who are liking and following your page. I said that everything has to do with your great content in educating, educating, educating. Your success depends on great content. Always remember, it's not just content for Facebook. That's why I say the strategy is online and offline. Think about what you can teach, train, post that will educate, 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 and will foster a lot of goodwill. You can do this not only with your content on Facebook, but in blog posts, podcasts, presentations, webinars, teleseminars, live events. I highly recommend you upload a lot of PowerPoints to SlideShare, and you can also have videos on your own YouTube channel. So what's a good content that helps us generate leads? You can have ebooks, pamphlets, guides. Consumer awareness guides is something I work with all my clients to create. You can have white papers and special reports. You can have great templates, checklists, blog posts, webinars, teleseminars, live events. Any of these things are great content. On Facebook, it's all about having perfect posts, visual posts that captures people's eyes and attention, and then make them want to see what you're offering because they know that you are appealing to their needs or wants or their results. Create beautiful visual posts. And you can take a look at mine at facebook.com/business mentoring expert. You will see how I create visual posts. Every post has only one specific point, and the point comes from a longer and meatier piece of content. Most of my posts have to do with my blog, which is todayscoaching.com/blog. So you see that my posts on Business Mentoring Expert typically end with todayscoaching.com/blog. I take one point from the blog post. People get that beautiful visual post, and then they can read the longer content on my blog. Simply, the post gives the audience an idea visually what's coming. What can I learn that I want more of? I highly recommend that you use custom images. You can do that with PowerPoint or Photoshop or an app that I frequently use and really enjoy called PageModo. Always remember, it is true that a picture is worth 1,000 words and maybe even 10,000. I know that on Facebook, people's eyes are caught with colorful images that resonate and have to do with something they want, need, or results they want to get. Think of your Facebook posts simply as digital breadcrumbs. They're breadcrumbs that lead your audience down a path to a landing page or to your retail location. Let's talk landing page for a moment. The breadcrumb leads someone to a landing page, and on that page, you then have the opportunity to convert your visitor into even a better lead. They're coming from Facebook and they're not quite a lead yet. They're raising their hand and saying, I'll go here. Now you want them to begin to follow you more closely and raise their hand a bit higher. So once they're at your landing page, we convert them by using email or a blog, or if it's a physical location, driving them into your retail location. On a landing page, simply have them complete a form. It can only be something as simple as name and email. It can even be just email, something simple where they don't have to give too much information. Then through these breadcrumbs, you've driven them to the landing page. Now they've completed the form. Now you can stay in touch with them with your blog or social media or email, and that's how you're really generating your leads. So what's the formula for generating leads? Well, it begins with educational, useful content that your ideal target customer, client, or patient really wants, because it'll solve their problem. And, sorry about that, it's interesting. When you have content like this, people stay engaged. Lead generation happens when people are engaged because your posts are colorful and eye-appealing, and you're constantly educating. You're not selling, and you're really fostering a lot of goodwill. I studied about 30 Facebook pages before coming here today, and most of them have sales-driven content. Don't be that person, that company, that business, that brand. Educate and foster goodwill with great content that's not salesy. There's become a model over the last 20 years where people tell people how wonderful they are. I'm a great guru because. I'm wonderful because. People don't like to hear that from you. We read ads in newspapers and magazines all the time, and we don't believe them because the person saying how great they are is the person talking about themselves. So we don't buy that. We don't believe it. People don't care what we have to say about ourselves. The way that we generate leads with Facebook is direct or indirect. Directly is where we share content, just like I gave you, that links to a landing form on your website with a contact form, just like I talked about. Indirectly, we share friendly, easy-to-use education over and over again to create goodwill and never hide behind a form. We allow people to have it right from Facebook or right from a website or right from a blog or however else we're giving this away through email, whatever it might be, with no form. Now, how do we share directly where we don't ask people for their contact information? Well, we could have a landing page that could have anything on it. It could have an ebook. It can have a consumer awareness guide, first thing I have clients create, some kind of a white paper, a special report, a template, a checklist. It's endless what you could have, a top 10 list. Your indirect Facebook sharing. You can share photos, photo albums, your blog posts where you don't require name or information, YouTube videos where people are free to watch without entering any information, additional third-party content, invites to events. Facebook success comes from posting a variety of content, And as I said earlier, not from trying to make a sale on Facebook. All of the sales that I have through Facebook come from getting my audience engaged, commenting and sharing what I post. In fact, the post about this webinar one time reached 1,300 people, another time 1,700 people. It was not a paid ad, not a sponsored ad. It came from audience engagement and people commenting and sharing what I was posting. You create sales on Facebook by reaching your target audience, making them aware you're here, and creating a buzz so that your target audience is waking up and paying attention to you. It's comments and shares, not likes, that lead to your ultimate goal of more clients, customers, or patients. The likes get us the eyeballs, and getting people to be interactive is what gets the engaged people to become our clients or customers or patients. So where do you start? Well, make sure your page has an engaging banner. I'm going to give you mine, which is facebook.com/business mentoring expert, and one that we did for a client, facebook.com/natural healing oasis. Both of these are done right, done well, and are models that you can use. And I do suggest that you follow both pages because they both have the kind of content that I'm describing. In fact, Natural Healing Oasis has an incredible amount of interaction with comments and shares. You'll notice that there aren't a lot of likes for the page, and it doesn't really matter. This page gets a tremendous amount of activity. Every post now, after you've got your banner, must be designed so that you think, what would engage my audience? Why would they want to interact with what I post? I recommend that you use some direct and some indirect lead generation posts. You mix them up. Always remember, we've got to get eyeballs, we've got to get likes, but from that, we want to get clicks. Our goal is truly to get traffic off the Facebook page to get our leads, and the leads is what results in our clients, customers, or patients. So we've got to get a number of people looking at our Facebook page, then we've got to take that traffic somewhere and then narrow down who the true leads are. With your direct lead generation posts, make sure you're giving your audience a very, very high value proposition. If you're asking people to directly be a lead, have a clear call to action. What do you want them to do? Call, download, make an appointment, click, go here, read this, listen to this, watch this. And then you'll want to include a short URL that leads to your landing page where you have a form, or the directions, or the appointment, whatever it is that takes them to the next action. The copy that you write that goes with your great photo and the image should show what they're going to download or get. If I'm getting an appointment for a free chair massage, I should show somebody getting a relaxing chair massage. If I'm coming into your floral shop to get a free florist, I should see someone holding a flower. If I'm getting an ebook, I should see the cover of the ebook with some very brief copy. Your indirect lead generation posts, where you don't take people's names or emails, don't need a clear call to action because we don't have to have a URL. We don't have to have a landing page with a form or a place to make an appointment or a place to drive them to see the directions. But it should always have a photo. Every post has an engaging photo. Every post is educational, and every post fosters goodwill. The only difference is there's no call to action or URL. Mix up your posts, as I said, between direct and indirect. Please make sure you do this. When you have too many direct posts, people turn away, and too many indirect posts, and you can't acquire the kinds of clients, customers, and patients that you desire. Don't forget that through our direct and indirect, we need to get people interacting with the posts. We can't have boredom. We have to have shares and comments. Likes are not as important as shares and comments because, as you'll see, Facebook's algorithm works with shares and comments. I thought I would interject with a client case study. It may be helpful and useful for you to live vicariously through one of my clients. This client was posting sales pitches on Facebook. That was their content. It was all about coming in for a dental cleaning. They had little to no engagement. They had no shares. And they had a terrible type of banner for a Facebook business page. The client told me they were generating no qualified leads for their dental office from Facebook, none. They heard me speak at a dental seminar, and they heard other dentists tell them how, yes, this strategy was working. So when they hired us, we began by identifying their exact target audience because they were speaking as if they treated everyone. Then we improved their Facebook page first with a great banner that has their core unique positioning statement, what they do unique and different. Solid business advice is mine. Joyful no matter what is natural healing oasis, so we needed a couple of words to define this dentist. Then we began to post nothing but educational and very interesting content that the target audience identified they wanted. That was the result and need and interest. We then created, as I said, I always begin with this, a consumer awareness guide. The top 10 reasons you needed a pediatric dentist or risk serious dental costs in the future. That got a lot of people's attention. We generated a ton of leads with Facebook. Why? We were reaching their ideal target audience, the people who are the best cases for them. And we actually were doing nothing but education and goodwill and literally warming them up to think about doing business with this dental practice. Now, think about your goals. We want you to be successful on Facebook. Well, the goal, truly, the ultimate reason we do Facebook is one thing and one thing only. It's to generate leads. Other people may tell you it's brand recognition, notoriety, expert status, blah, blah, blah. You would not be in business without qualified leads that you have potential to convert. So, in order to get leads, remember, every single post needs engagement and shares. So before you write a post, think, what's my goal for this post? What's the action I want people to take? And how can I get them engaged? How can I get these comments or shares? Now here's some news about Facebook's algorithm. With comments or shares, Facebook will give you more than about 5 to 7% exposure on people's news feeds. Right now, Facebook may be giving you 1% or less. You may not even be showing up on people's news feeds. There's so much to compete with that only through shares and comments does Facebook recognize your page and say it's worthy to show on some people's news feeds, more than maybe 5%. So the more shares and comments, the more people click the link you're putting in, the URL, the more traffic you're likely to get. And the more of the right traffic you get, the higher percentage of you generating the right leads and then being able to convert them into paying clients, customers, or patients. You have to have leads to get those paid customers. Now, let me go through some kinds of posts that work really well. One is a quote. You'll see that I use them quite a bit. The reason we use a quote is to get a lot of eyeballs to something that's longer content. It could be a blog post. I'm going to share an example because I do this a lot. I use quotes to drive people to my blog posts. Then, when they go to the blog post, the blog educates. So people go, oh, she's a trusted authority on Facebook, or on overall marketing strategy, or on setting up a funnel, or on product creation. And so then people come, they look at the useful content, educate, educate, educate. They go, wow, there's goodwill in this blog. When I have the Facebook post, I can use an image from my blog post. I can use a shareable quote. I often use things that people really seem to like to enjoy and share. Steve Jobs is one of the best that I've ever done. I've had some from him that go to 3,000 to 5,000 people who are commenting and sharing, which means Facebook goes, oh, she has something to say that people like. We're going to show her page to more than 5 to 7% of the people. So I'll be in their news feed. And as you'll see, my blogs always end with, my Facebook posts, always end with my blog. That's where I typically drive people, todayscoaching.com/blog. Here's the quote, here's a snippet of what I had to say, and now you can check it all out. The caption, the Facebook caption, always has a clear call to action if I'm driving people to a blog. I give them the URL to view the information on my blog. What else is working on Facebook? Question as an image works extremely well. The purpose of this post is to ask a question simply to get comments and conversation. Typically, this will have a link also to a landing page, and it can have a caption or short URL, but it doesn't have to. It does not have to, because it's a post to truly get engagement, not necessarily to drive people somewhere. The image that you're going to use for this post should be the question that you want the audience to answer. And I make my questions using Page Modo. A photo of a person fosters a lot of goodwill and is something else you want to use on Facebook. If you're a business, you can post photos of your employees, their birthdays, or an honorable person that you're admiring or celebrating. I always look in the Facebook news feed at what's trending. Maybe I can find a photo of that person. Or maybe there's a cause and I want a photo of the cause or somebody related to the cause. I have a foundation for children with reflex sympathetic dystrophy, and I'll often use a photo of one of those children. Maybe there's someone you want to honor or acknowledge, or it's a veteran for Memorial Day or Veterans Day. Acknowledging people. The goal here is to get more likes. Now, likes aren't comments or shares, but we're just trying to get people engaged with likes in this way. The copy could be introducing the person or introducing the cause. You don't need a short URL. All you want to do is capture people's attention. And here's the big point. The post has nothing to do with your business. Nothing. It's simply to create goodwill. Posts that are working really well also include an image that promotes an offer. So if you want to get a lot of downloads from a landing page, that's a way you can drive a lot more leads and hand raises of, yes, I'm interested. This is something I want. The consumer awareness guide, the special report, the template, the checklist, the top 10 list. You can have a post to promote that offer. Make sure you use an image that has a preview of what they're going to get. And use a link to the landing page that has a short tracking URL so you can see, where am I driving people from? Oh, it's Facebook. Tell people in the post where they should go to get your offer. So put that URL in there and the action they need to take. Click to download. Go here to download. Remember that regardless of the type of post you're using, It's all about being visual. That picture is worth thousands and thousands of words. I spend a lot of time creating the best visuals that I possibly can. Visual posts statistically get far more shares and comments. So even if your post maybe wasn't your best visual post, some are going to be stellar and some are going to be okay. You'll still get more exposure than you will if you just had a video or text status update or a link. I'm going to give you some statistics on my own clients and their effective Facebook posts so you can begin to again live vicariously through the success of other people. Right now, we're posting for about 50 clients a day. Results show us click-through rates of posts that have engaging photos we use is 178%, 178% higher than click-through rates of posts that have links or texts or videos. Did you catch that? 178%. That's why you want engaging photos. HubSpot, in talking about Facebook, stated, photos on Facebook generate 53% more likes than the average post. I agree with them. It does generate more likes. 53% is their statistic. And look at what it does for engagement. 178% more. The way we go about creating effective posts for our clients is we design images that have the proper Facebook pixels, 960 by 960. They have a brief text caption, and as I mentioned, if we're driving them somewhere, we use a short URL that takes people to a landing page. This is what we do and spend a lot of time doing this for each client that engages us. So let's take a moment and digest. Facebook needs a great banner on your business page. You need to know your core unique positioning statement. And by the way, any client that engages us, we help them create their core unique positioning statement. It's kind of job one. And so from that statement, we're able to put a few words on their page with their Facebook banner. Solid business advice, joyful no matter what. 2 examples, they come from 9-word statements where we pull out just a couple of things. We then use photos, which I've been talking about, and that's how we get the high click-through rate that gives us leads, and that's how we get our high post engagement and sharing of content. I recommend that you spend a lot of time sourcing or creating images for every single post. Post a variety of content types the way I've taught you. And remember, go back to basics. The reason you're posting is to create value and goodwill. Educate, educate, educate will create value, and people will feel goodwill with you. Now, I haven't talked about Facebook advertising, and I need to. When I was teaching Facebook earlier, I didn't teach to use Facebook advertising because it wasn't necessary, and now it is. Facebook is pay to play, meaning you must spend some money, not a lot, to reach your ideal target audience. Your organic ability to reach your audience, as I said earlier, is really, really low. Facebook's only showing, if you're lucky, 5% of your information to people in their news feeds. There are over 1,500 competing items for newsfeed in a 1-minute period. 1,500 posts in 1 minute that are going, put me on the newsfeed. No, put me, put me, put me. So the algorithm looks at the 1,500 and says, if you're lucky, I'll give you 300 of them. The truth is that number is going down and will continue to go down. Let's look at the changes. In 2012, when I first started getting good at Facebook, 16% of a Facebook fans page would see their post. In 2013, when I became more of an expert in Facebook, it was down to 12%. And in 2014, when I felt that we had worked with enough clients and had enough success that I was an expert, only 6% of posts are now being shown. This is a number right from Facebook. They say that in 2015, 2% of what you're posting actually gets shown to anyone. So if you have less than 500,000 fans, which I'm guessing most people do, your posts are only being seen by about 2% of the people that are following you. And Facebook's very clear in telling us the organic reach will soon be 0. That means you can post all you want. No one's going to see it. Well, since you do want to reach your ideal target audience, hey, that's why you're here with me, right? Then you have to supplement your organic efforts by using some paid ads. Think of your Facebook fans, the people who are following you or liking you, not necessarily as qualified leads. They might not even be your ideal target audience. So we need to pay to reach the ideal target customer. And again, not much, because the leads exist. They're sitting there. They just may not have found your page or connected with you yet. Maybe they don't even know you're out there. So for advertising on Facebook, we use an image with a 1:9 ratio. Let me just explain that. It's 1200 by 627 pixels. Just remember that. And we put in URL links to a landing page with a form. So you always use a landing page with a form and allow people to download or get something. Those of you who have a retail location or you have a service-oriented business where you have an office like a dentist or a chiropractor, you're going to do this also. You may not be used to doing this, but this is something you'll begin to do. In your ad, you want to use less than 90 characters, not words, but characters, because Facebook will truncate it and it will look illogical if we only have a few pieces of what you're trying to tell us. The title that you use in your link has to have less than 25 characters. Please remember, I'm not talking words, I'm talking characters. And then you get to have a description and never ever have more than 3 lines. 3 lines is it. You'll be advertising on Facebook, or we handle that for you, to drive traffic, leads, customers. So the posts want to advertise a link to your website. You can also use ads, as I said in the very, very beginning, to get more likes. You're going to need that to have a big enough following on Facebook. If you're a physical location, we can drive people to the location, give them an offer to redeem, a coupon, or come in today. A floral client that I have always has come in today if your name is Nancy and get a free rose. If you come in with any other name, you get a free XYZ tulip. Driving people in for the redeemable offer. You can drive people with your ads to an event, an online event like this, an offline event like a mastermind or a seminar. You can create brand awareness by putting images, of course, in every post, in your ad posts. You can also put video in your ads. You can actually use your Facebook ads to drive installs on an application. I recommend that you use ads because they can test the effectiveness of your Facebook content. And this is one of my favorite Facebook secrets. You can create unpublished posts to test your messaging. They're called dark posts. They'll be in your news feed, but they won't appear on your Facebook page. They'll be in your news feed, but not on your page. And what happens with these is you can create some targeted ads. Again, they're not published, but they'll, as I said, they'll appear in the news feed. And then you can determine, does this ad copy work? Does it resonate with my audience? Without spending the money and exposing it to your entire fan base and exposing them to something that's not effective. Facebook ads summed up. The people that are connected with your Facebook business page may not be your most qualified leads. I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm here to give you the truth, as my goal is your success. Your goal is also my success. The best way to reach your target audience on Facebook nowadays is with paid targeted ads. Let's take a breather and sum up the Facebook takeaways. Focus on educating, educating, educating. A great banner with a great core unique positioning statement, which has to be done, your core unique positioning statement, before you even set up your Facebook page. And if you have a page set up without it, let's go back and create a core unique positioning statement. I can help you with that if you'd like. Foster goodwill by giving away freebies and, most of all, great, useful content that your target audience through survey said, hey, these are the results I want, this is what I'm interested in, and this will captivate my attention. Only post interesting content. Use a balance of direct and indirect lead generation content, and before you put up a post, think about your engagement goal. What do you want people to do? How do you want them to behave and act? And then tell your audience what action you want them to take by having a very clear call to action. Go here, read this, download, call now. And always remember, marketing is an experiment. I can give you what's been proven to work. You can use it, modify it, and tweak it, and always know that because it worked today, it may not work tomorrow. Because it worked perfectly for this optometrist does not mean it's going to work perfectly for this business coach. Marketing is an experiment, and we need to monitor it and tweak it. Remember to use small tracking URLs to measure clicks and leads generated, so don't just send everybody to the same URL. Create stellar visuals. Spend your time there. It is the big, big, big payoff in engagement and click-through rates. Therefore, it is the big payoff in lead generation. Make sure that you've got optimized landing pages to drive people to. Again, I can help you with that. It should have great copy, excellent visuals, and very clear calls to action. Your post copy, short, less than 90 characters, not words, characters. And as I just taught you, use these Facebook ads and dark posts that I just shared with you so you can test and boost your effective lead generation content. I'm also giving you a bonus, and the bonus is LinkedIn. LinkedIn works a lot like Facebook and needs to have engagement. It doesn't need engagement to be seen, it just needs engagement to be effective. I recommend that you have many useful downloads to offer people on LinkedIn. Special reports, white papers, templates, audios, visuals, top 10 sheet, checklist, consumer awareness guide, which I can help you create. On LinkedIn, it's about joining groups where your target audience is truly engaged and then giving those groups great content, education, and a lot of free resources. Just like on Facebook, we don't sell. The goal of LinkedIn, from our vantage point, is not selling people. So here's my LinkedIn bonus strategy. I have some proprietary software we use. I'm happy to share it with you. If you're interested, you can let me know. We give, through that software, 10 people every single week a freebie. For example, right now I do a lot of work with coaches, consultants, speakers, trainers, authors, and service professionals like dentists and chiropractors and optometrists and massage therapists and weight loss counselors and psychologists, etc. 10 people every week get a freebie. This week it's 10 dentists. Then we suggest a follow-up after the freebie if they want help with something that we solve. It could be, if you had a retail location, if you've read the special report and you want to know how to, trying to think of a business first. Here we go. We'll use a chiropractor. Now that you've read the special report, and if you want to know how to even further reduce your back pain, contact me for a 20-minute consultation. Free. In my case, with the 10 people a week, we give them a consumer awareness guide to having a marketing mentor for dentists and what they should avoid. And then at the end, we simply offer them a strategy session, not a sales session, and we don't disguise it. It really is not a sales session. We drive people from LinkedIn, just like we do from Facebook, to a landing page. Same strategy. When they come to a landing page, sometimes we can just give them the content free without asking for their information, just like Facebook. And other times, we then ask them to put in their name and email, or sometimes just email. And on the page is more education and more goodwill. So we stay engaged on LinkedIn and build credibility, get people to know, like, and trust us, and develop a relationship with us where they are going to eventually raise their hands if they're a good qualified lead and purchase our products or services. And then finally, now that they've come to us through LinkedIn, we market to them. We don't sell to them and throw things down their throat. We use even more education and goodwill and provide it to them through an email campaign program. I've given you quite a bit of information here. I'm going to now answer questions that you have, and I'll stay as long as you're here so every question is answered. It's important to me that those of you who are serious and want help get the help you need, and in a moment I'll even share how to get free help. I am not here to sell you anything.